Most traders think becoming profitable is mainly about learning better strategies, better indicators, better entries, better market analysis. And yes, those things matter. But after years in the market, many traders slowly realize something deeper. The biggest transformation is not technical, it is mental. The real journey from losing trader to profitable trader happens inside the mind. And that is exactly what I want to talk about in this video. The mental path from losing trader to profitable trader. Because once you understand this deeply, you stop looking at trading as only a technical skill. You start understanding that profitability is connected to emotional growth, psychological maturity, discipline, patience, self-awareness. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will understand the psychological stages traders go through, why most traders stay stuck emotionally, and how profitable traders slowly transform their mindset over time.
And if you want to continue building a strong trading mindset, consider subscribing to Bull Mindset. This channel is focused on discipline, psychology, and long-term consistency.
Now let us begin with the first stage, the emotional beginner stage. This is where almost every trader starts. At this stage, traders are excited, motivated, hopeful. They believe success will happen quickly. They watch videos constantly. They search for strategies constantly. And emotionally, they believe the market is mainly about finding the perfect system. Now let us go deeper. At the beginning, many traders think knowledge alone creates success. So they focus heavily on indicators, strategies, patterns, technical analysis. And yes, learning these things matters. But eventually, reality appears. Losses happen. Emotions appear. And this is where the psychological struggle begins. Now let us talk about the second stage, the emotional reaction stage. This is where many traders become trapped. Because now, emotions start controlling behavior. Fear appears after losses. Greed appears after wins. Impatience appears during waiting periods.
And traders begin making emotional decisions, overtrading, revenge trading, chasing trades, increasing risk emotionally. At this stage, traders usually believe the problem is strategy, so they constantly change systems, constantly change indicators, constantly search for something new. But the real problem is often emotional behavior. Now let us move into real trading examples. Imagine a trader who takes one losing trade. Immediately, frustration appears. They feel emotional pressure, so they enter another trade impulsively, then another, then another. At the end of the day, one controlled loss becomes a large emotional loss. Now imagine another trader in the same situation. They take the same losing trade, they feel disappointment, but they pause. They stay calm. They review the situation logically. Their emotions do not control their next decision. This is the beginning of psychological growth. Now, let us consider another situation.
A trader experiences several winning trades. Confidence quickly becomes overconfidence. They increase risk emotionally. They stop respecting their rules. And eventually, emotional behavior destroys their profits. Now imagine a disciplined trader. They experience the same winning streak, but their behavior stays stable. They maintain the same risk, the same process, the same emotional control. This emotional stability creates consistency. Now let us go deeper into psychology. Most losing traders are emotionally reactive. Their emotions change their behavior constantly. When they feel confident, they take more risk. When they feel afraid, they hesitate. When they feel frustrated, they overtrade. This emotional instability creates inconsistent results. Now let us talk about the third stage, the awareness stage. This is where important change begins. At this stage, traders slowly realize something powerful. The biggest enemy is not the market.
It is emotional behavior. Now traders begin noticing patterns. They notice fear after losses. They notice greed after wins. They notice impatience during slow market conditions. This awareness changes everything, because awareness creates the possibility of control. Now let us talk about self-awareness more deeply. Profitable traders study themselves constantly. They study emotional triggers, behavioral mistakes, psychological weaknesses, because they understand mindset controls performance. Now let us talk about discipline. At first, discipline feels extremely difficult because emotions constantly interrupt behavior. After losses, emotions want revenge. After wins, emotions want excitement. After boredom, emotions want action. But disciplined traders slowly learn to separate emotions from decisions. This takes time. Now let us talk about another important truth. The transition from losing trader to profitable trader is usually gradual, not dramatic. Many traders expect sudden transformation, But real growth happens slowly, one habit at a time, one emotional improvement at a time, one lesson at a time. Now let us talk about patience. Patience is one of the biggest psychological shifts profitable traders develop. Losing traders constantly want action. They want excitement. They want fast results. But profitable traders understand something important. Patience protects capital. Patience prevents emotional mistakes. Patience creates higher quality decisions.
Now let us talk about another psychological shift. Profitable traders stop focusing only on money. This is extremely important. Losing traders think constantly about profits, but profitable traders focus more on process, execution, risk management, discipline, because they understand good process creates long-term results. If this video is helping you understand the deeper psychological side of trading, consider subscribing to Bull Mindset, because mindset is what separates emotional traders from disciplined traders. Now let us move into another important stage, the emotional acceptance stage. This is where traders stop fighting reality emotionally. They accept losses calmly. They accept uncertainty calmly. They accept slow growth calmly. And this emotional acceptance creates stability. Now let us talk about uncertainty. Many losing traders desperately seek certainty. They want every trade to work. They want constant confirmation.
But profitable traders think differently. They understand trading is based on probabilities, not guarantees. This psychological shift reduces emotional pressure significantly. Now let us talk about another important transformation. Profitable traders stop needing to be right emotionally. This is huge. Many losing traders protect ego instead of protecting capital. They hold losing trades too long. They avoid accepting mistakes, because emotionally, being wrong feels painful. But profitable traders understand something important. Losses are normal. Protecting capital matters more than protecting ego. Now let us talk about consistency. Consistency is not created through motivation. It is created through stable behavior repeated over long periods. This is why routines matter so much. Now let us talk about emotional maturity. Emotional maturity means staying balanced during both winning and losing periods, not becoming too excited after wins, not becoming emotionally destroyed after losses. This balance creates stability. Now let us talk about another major shift. Profitable traders become less emotional and more observational. Instead of reacting impulsively, they observe their thoughts calmly. They recognize emotional triggers earlier. They slow down reactions. This awareness creates discipline. Now let us talk about the importance of journaling. Many profitable traders use journaling to improve self-awareness. They write down emotional mistakes, behavioral patterns, emotional triggers. This helps them improve gradually.
Now let us talk about another truth. Profitable traders often became stronger through painful experiences, through losses, through emotional mistakes, through frustration. These difficult experiences forced growth, forced self-awareness, forced emotional maturity. Now let us talk about the final psychological stage, the process-focused stage. At this stage, traders stop obsessing over short-term outcomes. They focus on long-term execution, long-term consistency, long-term discipline. This creates emotional stability. Now let us talk about mental frameworks that help traders move from losing to profitable. The first framework is process over outcome. Judge yourself based on execution, not individual profits. The second framework is probability thinking. No trade is guaranteed. Accept uncertainty calmly. The third framework is emotional neutrality. Stay balanced emotionally after both wins and losses. The fourth framework is long-term thinking.
Real trading growth happens over years, not days. Now let us talk about practical exercises. One powerful exercise is emotional journaling. Write down emotional reactions after trades. This builds awareness. Another exercise is reducing emotional pressure through smaller risk. Smaller risk creates calmer decisions. Another helpful practice is reviewing losing trades calmly instead of emotionally. Look for lessons, not self-destruction. Another exercise is practicing pauses before impulsive decisions. Pause, breathe, observe your emotional state. This creates control. Another important exercise is tracking discipline daily. Did you follow your process? Did you control risk? Did you avoid emotional trading? Now let us go even deeper. The path from losing trader to profitable trader is really the path from emotional behavior to disciplined behavior. That is the real transformation. Not magic indicators, not secret strategies. Psychological stability. Now let us talk about confidence. Real confidence does not come from constant winning. It comes from trusting yourself emotionally, trusting your process, trusting your discipline. Now let us move toward the final message. The mental path from losing trader to profitable trader is not easy. It requires patience, self-awareness, discipline, emotional control, and gradual psychological growth. But every trader who becomes consistently profitable eventually goes through this transformation. Let me leave you with one final thought. Profitable traders are not emotionally perfect people. They are people who learned to manage emotions more effectively over time. They became calmer, more patient, more disciplined, more self-aware. And if you continue improving your mindset, your decisions improve. If your decisions improve, your consistency improves. And if your consistency improves, profitability becomes possible. And if you want to continue building that mindset, subscribe to Bull Mindset. I will see you in the next video.